Hi everybody, welcome to Living Life with Ike Yoga. I'm Nadine, aka Ike, and today we're going to do a 20-minute full body flow. So we're going to get right into it, starting off in an active child's pose. So when we're in an active child's pose, our big toes are touching, our knees are out, our sit bones are going towards our heels, and we're going to walk our hands out here. So we feel a nice side body stretch here. Nothing too intense. If it's too intense, then come up a little bit. But this is what we're really aiming for, a nice stretch from the hips all the way to the shoulders, into the arms. And we're just going to sit here and breathe into this for a second. Keeping the sit bones going towards the heels. Breathing into this. Feels good on the shoulders. One more breath here. Walking the hands up and going right into tabletop. So again with tabletop, I like to always give the cues on where your hands and your knees should be. So wrists are under shoulders and knees are under hips. Feet are flat. Top of the feet are flat. We're pressing through the fingertips. Our middle finger is pointing forward here. So now going into thread the needle. So our right arm is going to go up cross body. And then we're going to thread it underneath our left arm. So shoulder to the floor. I'll turn this way so you can see me. So shoulder goes to the floor and right cheek goes to the floor. Just going to stay here for a second. And then coming all the way back up and completing the stretch. And then back down. Transferring the weight onto the right, so pressing through the middle finger, left arm goes up cross body, and then we thread the needle under the right arm. Left cheek goes to mat. The hand is active, so this is an active stretch. And then coming right back, cross body, completing the stretch, and placing it back down. Now let's try and get that spine moving a little bit and lubricating it. So back into cat-cow. So again, just checking where your wrists are and your shoulders and your knees and your hips. On your inhale, rounding your back. Chin goes to chest, tailbone goes down. Rounding through the scapula. Breathing into this cat. Belly button is towards the spine. And then going into cow. So cow, chin goes up, tailbone goes up, chest goes forward, pressing through those fingertips so we're not falling into the shoulders here. We want the shoulders away from our ears. Belly is down. And moving through to cat. Again, pressing through the fingertips. We're not falling in our shoulders. Chin goes to chest, tailbone goes down. Rounding through the scapula. And back through the cat. Cow. Chin up, tailbone up. Pressing through the fingertips, shoulders away from ears, and the chest is forward. We'll do one more like this. On your inhale, rounding through the spine, creating space between your shoulder blades, pressing through your fingertips. Chin goes to chest, tailbone goes down. And into cow, chin up, tailbone up, shoulders away from ears, chest it goes forward. Belly is down. Now everyone knows that if you practice with me, I like this cat-cow variation. So we're going to go right leg goes out, toes are pointing forward here. Pressing through the fingertips and moving into cat. So we're rounding through the shoulder blades. Tucking the tailbone in, chin goes to chest. And this is where you're really going to feel this variation. In cow, chin goes up, tailbone goes up, pressing through the fingertips, shoulders away from ears, chest goes forward. You should feel it right through the back of the leg here. And back into cat, rounding through the scapula, pressing through the fingertips, chin goes to chest, tailbone goes down. And one more cow here. Chin up, tailbone up, shoulders away from ears, chest forward. Beautiful. And bringing that in, transferring the weight. Left leg goes out, toes are pointing forward here. They're not off to the side. Toes are forward, knee is forward. And into cat with your breath. Chin goes to chest. Tailbone goes down, rounding through the scapula. Transferring it into cow. Chin up, tailbone up, shoulders away from ears, pressing through those fingertips. Belly is down and chest is forward. Let's do it one more time. And into cat. Pressing through the hands, through the fingertips, rounding through the shoulder blades. Chin goes to chest, tailbone is there. It's tucked. And back to cow. Belly down, chin up, tailbone up, shoulders away from ears. Chest is forward. Beautiful. Tucking our toes under, inner tabletop, pushing back to our first down dog, so knees are bent. Pressing through those fingers, taking the weight off the wrist, and let's walk our dog. Nice and slow. Bringing the heels towards the mat. If they don't touch, that's fine. Not falling in your shoulders here. Gaze is between your hands or just by your wrists. We're not looking at our feet here. See the difference? Yeah. Walking your hands to the back of your mat and rolling your body up. All the way. And shoulders roll back. Palms are forward. Tadasana, mountain pose. On your inhale, inhale all the way up. Clasping your hands together. Your index fingers are released. Your thumbs are crossed. Inhaling, stretching up through the spine and shoulders come down. On the exhale, folding over to the right into crescent. Should feel a wonderful stretch through the side body here. We're not falling into that shoulder. Our shoulders are stacked. Breathing into that. On the inhale, coming up. Let's cross those fingers in the opposite direction. I know, it's a bit of a yoga brain here. I always have to think about it myself. And on the inhale, stretching up, shoulders come down. On the exhale, over to the left crescent. Shoulders are stacked here. No cheating. Breathing into that side body. And coming back up, bringing the shoulders down. The hands are down, rolling the shoulders back. We're going to do that one more time, but we're going to add some balancing into it. So on the inhale, hands go all the way up. Clasping your fingers, index fingers are released, they're forward, thumbs are across, shoulders are down. On your exhale, we're folding over to the right again, shoulders are stacked. Right leg goes out to the side, toes are on the floor, or balancing. There you go, belly's nice and tight. Completing your crescent. Bringing the foot back down and coming back up. And interlocking the fingers. The opposite way, crossing your thumbs the opposite way. On your inhale, hands go up, spine goes up, shoulders go down. On your exhale, folding over to the left. Not falling into your shoulders. Left leg goes out, toes are either on the mat or balancing. Belly's nice and tight. And bringing that in. Shoulders come down. And let's just do a little bit of a roll here. Yeah. We're going to be using our shoulders a lot today. So let's roll forward. There we go. Wonderful. On your inhale, inhale all the way up. On your exhale, our first forward fold, so our knees are bent. Hands are on the mat. Head is heavy. Jaw is relaxed. Gaze, eyes can be closed or open. Not really focusing on anything here. We're just relaxing. We're letting our body be our weight. Grabbing onto our elbows. Swaying from side to side. Going lower and lower if it's available. Nice stretch through the back of the legs into the glutes here. Hands onto the mat, walking into a down dog. Pressing through your fingertips. Heels going towards the mat. Rolling forward into plank, and we're just rolling. Pressing through the hands, rounding through the scapula, and back into down dog. Rolling forward again into plank. Staying here, settling the breath, rounding through the shoulders. If you need to, take a step back to make a longer plank. Yeah. Knees are down. We're lowering the body. Elbows stay in. Lower, 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 all the way down. Belly's nice and tight. Get down nice and slow. So hands are beside the chest. Elbows are tucked in. So cobra. When we're coming up into cobra, I want you to push the mat away with your hands. So the mat is, you're pushing back, and so the chest will go forward. So back and up. Yeah, shoulders down. Breathing into that. And coming back down. Pushing back into child's pose. Sit bones towards heels. Tucking your toes under. And coming back into your down dog. Going into a three-legged dog. Right leg goes up. Bending the knee and stacking the hips. Breathing into that. Coming back to your three-legged dog and placing it down. Pressing away with the mat with your fingertips. Left leg goes up. Bend at the knee. Stack the hips. And placing it back down. Step, looking between your hands and stepping or hopping to the top of your mat. Coming up. Fixing your pants. Rolling your shoulders back. Mountain pose Tadasana. Now we're going to do that sequence again, but just a little bit faster this time. So on the inhale, all the way up. On the exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, placing the hands on the mat, stepping back into your down dog. Hips go back, heels go towards mat, pressing with your fingertips. Rolling forward into plank. Rounding through your shoulder blades, belly's nice and tight, tailbone is tucked. Onto your knees, untucking your feet. Bringing the belly down to the mat, elbows are tucked in. Nice and slow and controlled. Now coming up into cobra, we're pushing the body forward with our hands. Shoulders are back. And down. Pushing back through to child's pose. Tucking the toes under. Into your down dog. Looking between the hands, stepping or hopping to the top of your mat. Coming all the way up. And hands to heart center. All the way up again. Palms face each other. Uttanasana, chair pose. Sitting into your chair. Shoulders are away from your ears. They're not up here. Take a quick look. Your knees aren't over your toes. Belly is in. Tailbone is tucked. Forward fold to flush that out. Wonderful. Settling the breath here. And coming all the way up. And rolling the shoulders back. So we're going to do Uttanasana again, but with a balance. And I'm going to go this way because we're going to make it into a bit of a flow. So all the way up, root to rise, palms face each other, sitting down into Uttanasana chair pose. Belly is in, tailbone is tucked. Shoulders away from ears. Bringing the weight into our left foot and going up onto your toes or balancing. Uttanasana, one leg. Find something to look at. And then stepping back into Virabhadrasana 2. So you might have to do a little adjustment on your stance Okay? We're bending into that front knee. Our hips are to the long side of the mat. Hands come up, shoulders go down. Gaze over middle finger. Belly's nice and tight here. Bending a little bit more. Cartwheeling the hands down. Going up into runner's lunge with your right foot. Right hand stays on the mat. Left hand goes cross body all the way up to the sky. You should feel a nice stretch on your left foot or on your left leg. Hands go down and then stepping forward. Forward fold. Head is heavy. And we're just going to roll all the way up. And shoulders go back. Settling the breath. Palms are forward. Eyes can be closed. On your inhale, back up, root to rise. Palms face each other. Sit down into Uttanasana, chair pose. Transferring the weight onto your right foot. Left foot on tippy toes or balancing. Looking at something that's not moving. Shoulders are away from ears. See if we can just sit a little bit more into that. And then stepping back into warrior two. Now I'm going to turn around so you guys can see me. So again, do an adjustment if you need to. Bending into that front knee. Hips are facing the long side of our mat. Hands go up, shoulders go down. Gaze over middle finger. Settling your breath. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Cartwheeling the hands down. Going into a runner's lunge with your back leg. Left hand goes onto the mat. Right hand goes cross body. And hands to the mat and stepping forward. Staying here in forward fold. Head is heavy. On your inhale, coming halfway up. Flattening the back, shoulders away from ears, hands can go on thighs. On your exhale, forward fold. Let's roll the body up. And shoulders back. Settle the breath. Palms are forward. Eyes can be closed. Perfect. So we're going to do something new, and for those who do my snoga, we did it on the ice on Saturday. So it's a down dog push-up. So here we go, guys. Inhale all the way up. Really, really root to rise here. Stretching through the top of the crown, stretching through your hands. On your exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, walking your hands into your down dog. Pressing through your fingertips, shoulders away from ears. And 1, down dog push-up. Elbows stay nice and tight. 2, 3, and 1 more. 4. They're just little dips. Pushing back. Rolling forward into plank. Into a three-legged plank. Right leg comes up, not high. Crossing over your left, and then pushing yourself back into your down dog. And let's see if we can walk up a little bit. Into a forward fold, cross-legged. Feels awesome. Let's roll back into our plank. Uncross the legs. Three-legged plank, left leg goes up. Like again, we're not going high here. We're just lifting. Crossing the legs. Pushing back into your cross-legged down dog. And then walking the hands up. To a forward fold, cross-legged. Head is heavy. Rocking forward. our plank, uncross the legs, knees down, child's pose. Settle your breath here. Coming up into tabletop, tucking the toes under. Looking between your hands, stepping or hopping to the top of your mat. Rolling the spine up. Beautiful. Fixing your hands. Shoulders go back. Great. Now finding yourself in your middle of your mat. So wide angle pose. We've talked about this before. Ankles under wrists. So if you end up feeling like you're too wide, then just come in. It's just a guideline. All right? Hands on hips and let's forward fold. Head is nice and heavy. Hands go to the mat. Now walk your hands back if it's available so your fingertips are in line with your toes. You should feel a bit more of a stretch there. Walking them back out. Bending through the right knee into your side lunge. Staying here and breathing into that. Nice stretch through the inner thigh. And then walking back over. Trying to stay nice and low when we're going through the middle. We're going to do it a couple of times. So each time, let's see if you can get just a little bit lower. Going through middle. So let's stay nice and low here. And walking over. And coming back. There we go. Into the middle. Hands on hips. Let's roll that body up. Shoulders are down. Turning our right foot into Virabhadrasana 2. Checking our heel, see if it's aligned with the arch in our foot. Bending through that front knee. Hips are square. Our hands go up, shoulders go down. Gaze over middle finger. Breathing in. Settling the breath. Belly's nice and tight here. Relaxing the hands, rolling the shoulders back, clasping the hands. Okay, so we're clasping the hands and rolling our shoulders back. On our inhale, we're stretching through the top of our spine. On our exhale, we're folding into that front knee. Humble warrior. Breathing into that nice, beautiful stretch. Releasing the hands and walking them out in a 45-degree angle. So I'll just turn so you can see what I'm doing here. So we're releasing our hands and we're walking them out in a 45-degree angle, settling into that front hip, down dog lunge. Walking the hands back into center, into a runner's lunge. Settling your breath, and then stepping forward and rolling up. Shoulders go back. Wonderful. So finding yourself again into your wide angle stance. Now turning our left foot out into Virabhadrasana 2. Checking our ankle and our heel, or our heel and our arch. Bending through the front knee. Shoulders go up and down. Gazes over middle finger. Belly's nice and tight, tailbone's tucked. Releasing the hands, rolling the shoulders back. Clasping the hands in the opposite direction we did last time, all right? I know, it's a burning tweezer. And shoulders go back. Clasping your hands. Chest is forward. Don't forget to keep bending through that front knee. On your inhale, stretching through the top of your spine. And on your exhale, folding into that front knee. Humble warrior. Placing the hands on the mat, walking out into down dog lunge. Should really feel this in your left thigh and your glute. Walking hands back into high runner's lunge. And stepping to the top of your mat and rolling your body up. Shoulders go back, palms go forward. Mountain pose Tadasana. Okay, so find yourself in the middle of your mat, sitting down. So we're going to do a variation of both. So bending our knees, tippy toes are pointed, shoulders are back, belly is engaged here. Hands go out, palms are looking forward, and your arms are parallel. And we're just going to do some taps here. Just starting to engage that belly. Yeah. Okay, and just settle. Now we're going to go to the next variation of that pose. Ready? I know you are. Sitting back, shoulders are away from ears, arms are out in parallel, and up we go, and balance. Belly's nice and tight. Bend down. Give yourself a little break. We're not done with abs. We're going to do what's called cosmic abs, and I used to do these in Victoria. So it doesn't really go along with, it's definitely not a relaxing pose. We won't do it for very long, but we're going to do each side. And I'm going to face you so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So we're going back into that pose that we were just in here. This one, okay? But now we're here. Hips are going to go to one side, hands go to the other, and we're just going to cycle. Like we're riding a bike. Keep your belly nice and tight. And now switch sides. Great. Bring the knees in and sit up nice and high on your sit bones. Bridge, flow. So this is an active bridge. What I like to use as a cue for where to put your feet is if you can tickle the back of your heels. You want your feet hip distance apart. We want our knees hip distance apart. Hands are down. So in a regular bridge, we would roll up and hold. But what we're going to do is a bridge flow. So as our hips come up, so do our hands. So as the hips come up, hands will go overhead. And sit and hold. Stretching out our abdomen. Our glutes are nice and tight. Pressing through our feet. Knees aren't touching. And on the way down, our hands come down with the body. Take a second, settle the breath. And one more time, lifting up. Hands come up with the body as the body rolls up onto the shoulder blades. And all the way back down. Finding yourself in a seated position. And we're just going to remove the flesh from our sit bones so we're sitting nice and high. Remember, when you inhale, we're inhaling from the bottom of the spine all the way to the crown of the head. So our feet are in a diamond position. And we're going to inhale, stretch up on the sit bones, and exhale, fold over. And then coming back up, nice and slow. yourself in pigeon. We're just going to do a quick pigeon here for a cool down. So I like to get into pigeon from down dog. So I like in a three-legged, and then I bring it cross body. Now we're scooting the back leg with our toes. Our cross body foot is flexed, so we're protecting our knee here, and we're not falling into that hip. See the difference? We're up on the hip. Our hips are nice and square, and we're going to go down onto our forearms. And stretch out that nice thigh, the glute, the hip. And let's switch bodies, so switch sides. Since we're down here, we're just going to bring our left leg forward into a cross body. Scoot the back leg down. Remember, use those toes. Scoot that leg back. Left foot is flexed, protecting our knee, and back, down on our forearms. Breathing into that stretch. Coming onto your bum, onto your back, bringing your knees into your chest. Placing your feet on your mat, knees are bent, feet are on the sides of your mat. Arms are in a T formation, knees are going to fall to the right and head is going to go to the left. Bringing the knees up, the knees will then go to the left and the head goes to the right. And then find yourself in Shavasana, bringing your legs down, letting your feet just fall to the side, bringing your hands beside your body, tucking your shoulders under, palms are up to receive or down to release. Please stay in Shavasana as long as you can. I'll take this moment to say namaste. Thank you for joining me. See you next time, guys.